One of the biggest drains on a company and the staff of a busy organization is when the culture that's created in that business is very little trust. Since it is true that you cannot build a winning company culture on the back of a losing team culture, it is an imperative that businesses and its leaders take time for introspection, take time to inspect and investigate their company to find out what's really truly going on inside. One of the biggest drains on a company and the staff of a busy organization is when the culture that's created in that business is very little trust. Very little trust that's operating within that business. And how can you tell? How can you tell if the organization you're serving in or the business that you're running has a low trust culture? How would you know? Well, 5 trademarks exist at the very least. I don't have the monopoly on this one, but I think there's at least 5 of them. Let me give you them quickly. So 5 trademarks for a low trust culture in a company. Here they are. Number 1, you're surrounded by snooppervisors. You know, the supervisor, they use words like monitor the people, watch the people, manage their movements, control them. If you have all the leaders are snooppervisors, it may be indicative of a low trust culture. The second one, you're graded on performance without having the proper expectations. Where there's not clarity on expectations, how do you know what you're doing? And how will you know that when it's done that you did a good job? You don't even have clear expectations. So performance being graded, but expectations not being given, it promotes a low trust culture. The third one, you have to ask for permission for everything. Why'd you do that? You never asked me. And there's no empowerment. Where there's no empowerment is because people don't trust you. Okay? Number 4, you have incentives that are way out of reach, unobtainable, but you got penalties that are bearing down on you right now. If you've got those 2 things, the incentives like, oh man, they're trying to incentivize you to work really, really hard, but they make the reward so far out that the carrot is way out there, but the stick's right on your backside. It's because it's a low trust culture. And the last one is this, you labor under excessive rules and restricting policies that contradict the values the company says they have. It is frustrating to me when the policies that are enforced do not relate to the values that have been adopted. It's a mixed match. It's an identity crisis. So, without me getting on my soapbox and preaching this to you, because this is so important and it drives me nuts. These symptoms of low trust cost money. They cost time. They cost good personnel. Good people leave environments of low trust. They also cost quality service. And guess who gets to feel that? The customer themselves. And that's just so frustrating. So if you discover, after doing some investigation into your organization, that you have signs of low trust culture being built into your organization, it's time for an internal intervention. Why? Because we all know this. It's harder to trust when all you have from the past is reasons why you shouldn't.